Your new flooring was just installed. You invite a few friends over to show off how beautiful it is. And then it happens. A deep scratch, caused by an exposed nail from a worn-out chair pad on one of your chairs. You ask yourself, now what do I do?
Hi everybody, I'm Greg Hathaway with Southwind Carpet and Hard Surface. Today we're going to be showing you how to do a plank replacement when something like this happens to your flooring. Just a few tools, a little bit of your time, and you'll be doing it just like the professionals. It's really that simple. So come on and join us. The UNI click locking system has a tongue and groove unique to other locking systems. Here, the tongue is inserted into the groove and rotated down, locking the tongue and groove together. The UNI-Click profile also allows you to install the floor sliding the groove under the tongue and rotating down. This is the method you will use in your plank replacement. Start your project by acclimating the new plank in the room 24 hours prior to replacing the damaged plank. Once you've identified the damaged plank, you will need to mark your cut lines. Mark a line down the center of the plank and one angling end to all four corners. This will help prevent a mistake in cutting the wrong plank. Here's an example of how it should look. Using a scrap piece of the same flooring, adjust the tip of the saw blade so the depth of the blade extends to the top of the attached cushion. This is to avoid damaging the saw blade by cutting too deep. Here's a close-up view of that setting. Remember to wear eye protection and use extreme care when cutting the plank. Cut no closer than 1 inch to the corners to avoid damaging the surrounding flooring, followed by cutting the center cut line to the opposite corner lines and remembering to stay 1 inch away from the corners when cutting those lines. Complete cutting the corners using a utility knife. You now have 4 sections of a cut plank to remove. Place the end of a flathead screwdriver under the center cut line and gently pry up, making sure you hold the surrounding planks in place. Because you only cut to the top of the attached cushion, it may be necessary to cut the cushion to allow the 4 sections to separate. Once you do this, it will be easy to slide the sections out. Notice our first and second section are the ones with the grooved edge. Continue to remove the remaining sections of the plank, followed by removing all debris, providing a clean surface for your replacement plank. Because the tongue cannot slide into the groove of the surrounding planks, it is necessary to trim the tongues off the replacement plank. Using a utility knife with a sharp blade, carefully cut off the tongue to the edge of the pattern on both the length and end of the replacement plank. These edges will require gluing them in place when installing your replacement plank. You will want to make sure your edges are smooth to assure a professional appearance once installed. Using a sharp utility knife, carefully trim the grooved end corners of the replacement plank at an angle. This will allow the groove to slip under the tongue profile when tapping the ends together during the replacement installation. Southwind recommends a polyurethane glue. In this video, we are using Loctite PL Premium 3 times stronger glue. Your choice of polyurethane glue is optional. Should you ever need it, having the material safety data sheet for the adhesive is always recommended. Using a small putty knife, apply a small amount of glue to the groove profile of the length and end of the existing planks, avoiding any adhesive transfer to the substrate. The glue is necessary to permanently hold the tongue section of the replacement plank in place. Now you're ready to install the replacement plank. With the replacement plank, start by slipping the edge of the groove under the tongue of the length profiles and slide it towards the tongue end of the installed flooring. Slip the end of a narrow, flexible putty knife under the plank and attached cushion on the tongue end of the installed flooring. This will allow the groove to slip under the tongue when tapping the opposite end. The edge of the tapping plate needs to be smooth and flat. Here we've used a scrap section of the flooring to place against the replacement plank we are installing. Using a hammer or mallet, gently tap the tapping plate, forcing the opposite end of the planks together. The putty knife will guide the replacement plank under the tongue. Once the groove slips under the tongue, carefully remove the putty knife and finish tapping until the opposite end is tight. At the same time, your tapping end of the plank should drop into place in the groove end of the installed flooring. Now pull the grooved edge towards the installed flooring, forcing the groove tight against the tongue. The tongues of the length and end of the replacement plank will drop into the glued grooves. Gently roll the end and length joints flush to assure they contact the glue. Place a board or other flat surface over the joints with weights and remove them after 12 hours. Well, there you have it. I'll place a list of things you'll need at the end of this video. Once again, thanks for joining Southwind Carpet and Hard Surface. I'm Greg Hathaway.